be talking about just 4 separate theories of my personal theories. If other people share these theories, then yeah, it's a shared thing. But again, these are theories, opinion based. They can be right, they can be wrong. So take everything with a grain of salt. And just in case any of you out there haven't read the Dragon Ball Super manga, I will say spoilers, or Heartsy will put a spoiler thingy-majig on the screen somewhere. But other than that, let's get underway as Lord Mint continues his adventures. First one I want to talk about is a theory that involves the current arc that's going on right now in the Dragon Ball Super manga, and that's the Moro arc. And right now, it ain't looking too good for our heroes. Moro has beaten the snot out of him. And right now, they either need to get an entirely new power, get an entirely new technique, or recruit some new help. And I have 2 theories that have 2 different, people to come to their aid right now. Now, this one that I'm going to talk about is going to be, this theory is about assistance from the other universes. Because last time in the anime, the biggest thing we got was the Universal Tournament of Power, which showed us a crud ton of universes and a crud ton of memorable characters: Topo, Dispo, Jiren, Kefla, Hit, Botamo, all those guys. I mean, we met Universe 6 before the tournament, but again, they're still memorable characters that showed up in that arc. I mean, my favourite characters that showed up in that arc, the Trio di Danger, with Basil, Bergamo, and Lavender, or Lavender, or Lavender, however you want to pronounce his name. The guy that poisoned Gohan in the eyes. So, this theory is basically about, because the gods themselves, technically, like Whis and Beerus can't get involved unless Beerus chooses to, but, you know, that's very unlikely. But it's possible that as a last resort they could request assistance from the other universes, such as going to Universe 11, I believe, and requesting the help of the Pride Troopers. And I believe this is right up the Pride Troopers' alley, because the Pride Troopers are basically the Power Rangers in their universe. They fight evildoers and giant mechs, they fight giant monsters like kaiju all the time. But I feel like fighting Moro would be right up that alley. Moro is a planet killer. He's a planet eater. He's killed so many people, and he's planning on doing a lot more stuff that will be bad for everybody involved. And I mean, it's already quite bad for the Z fighters right now. So I could imagine seeing a scenario where Goku just has the bright ideas like, oh, we're going to need more help, we're going to need more hands on deck. So he probably would make Bulma be like, hey, yo, can you make a tasty dish so we can, like, call Whis here? And Whis would show up being like, you know, I can't help you, I can't intervene. We angels have to stay neutral and impartial. But he's like, no, I don't want your help. Do you think we could chat with either Universe 6 or Universe 11? Because technically Universe 6 would be more likely just because of Champa and they've hung out with them more. So Kale, Caulifla, Hit, Kaba, Botamo, Magetta. Am I forgetting? Ah, yeah, Frost. Wait, was Frost a... Nah, I'm sure Frost is fine. Anyway, so they're more likely to show up. But I would prefer the Pride Troopers more because they suit this role a lot more. Like, even if they're not exactly as buddy-buddy with Universe 7 as Universe 6 is, with a villain like Moro, I don't think they could pass up the chance to, you know, spread their pride and justice over Moro's dirty blue face. But I do feel like they probably wouldn't bring in all of the Pride Troopers because, I mean, we got to see some of them show off some pretty cool stuff in the Tournament of Power. I mean, we have that one chick that looks like Jessie from goddamn Pokemon. But the main ones would be Dispo, Topo, and Jiren, obviously everyone's favourite character who has a lot of characteristics and a lot of emotion and a lot of traits. And nah, he's a blank piece of cardboard. But he's still a very powerful fighter and still a member of the Pride Troopers, and I think he got a new respect for his team right after the Tournament of Power, after Goku beat his backside while working with Frieza, of all people, which is baffling. But I do feel like those three alone, because they wouldn't bring in like a bunch of people, because you already have the whole of the Galactic Patrollers, like fodder characters. And we're kind of stretching it thin with Goku, Piccolo, Gohan, Krillin, Vegeta, Jarko, Dende now. So I feel like adding too many like faces that have relatively like good names to them would kind of overshadow a lot of things. So just bringing in the big three, One Piece reference, the big three of Universe 11 would be enough to sort it. Because I think the Pride Trooper, the rest of the Pride Troopers could handle Universe 11 for a bit while the other Pride Troopers help out Goku and Toe, just because it's kind of their duty to stop evildoers. But if Universe 11 wouldn't help, then Universe 6 I believe definitely would. Like definitely Kaba, Caulifla and Kale would immediately be like, yeah, sure, we'll come over, because they have no reason not to. I mean, Kaba like loves Vegeta, like Vegeta's his master after all. And Caulifla and Kale, mainly Caulifla, just wants a chance to just to learn Super Saiyan 3, because I think that's all she wanted to do in the Tournament of Power, and then Goku beat her backside. Anyway. Other than that, I don't know if Beerus, or Champa rather, Champa owes Beerus a favour. I don't know if they have that anymore, but if they did, then that's one way to get the entirety of Universe 6 to help him out. These pauses, these ums and ers will be professionally cut out by the professional one known as Heartsy, the professional of editing. That is her full title, and is what she will be referred to as. And she's going to smother me in my sleep. But other than that, I do feel like the extent to this theory would be, instead of just Universe 11 or just Universe 6 giving some fighters to help out Universe 7, because if Moro's like, he's at really good god level, if he snags Beerus, if he snags Whis or Maris and gets Angel or God of Destruction powers, who knows if he'd eventually be able to travel to the other universes. But I do feel like if he became a multi-universal threat, then the Omni Lords or the Grand Priest would just be like, nah, snap their fingers and be done with him. But I mean, we don't want that, because that would mean everyone else would be goddamn dead by that point. So we want to see something happen. So the big extent to this theory is, besides the Pride Troopers and besides the Universe 6 team, would be basically all of the main faces from the Tournament of Power showing up to lend Universe 7 a hand. Because if we're all being honest here, Universe 7, mainly Android 17, wished for all the universes that got erased in the Tournament of Power to come back. So technically all the universes owe Universe 7 one for bringing them back to life. So if anything, a final push against Moro could be against all the universes versus him. You have the Trio de Danger, you have the Pride Troopers in full force, you have the Universe 6 team with Hip in his awoken form, you have Kefla, who's trained and awoken new power, you have Kaba, who's reached Super Saiyan 2, possibly grade Super Saiyan 2. Super Saiyan grade 2, sorry. Mispronouncing of the words there. But, is there any... like the trio of chicks that like fused it, like Ruby Ann. Oh god, everyone would hate to see her come back, but I think it'd be a little bit funny, at the very least. But like all the main faces, like the robots. I don't know the blue liquid metal one's name, but he could show up and he'd be pretty handy. We could have Goten and Trunks join the fight, you know, go into Gotenks, and maybe like not like fight Moro directly, or you know, just help out, because I mean, Gohan's Galactic Donut worked on Moro, so maybe, you know, Gotenks, the maker of that move, would be able to do it more efficiently, like wrap him up in like several different rings and like boo volleyball him Like, again, some people might say that Moro's too powerful and, like, Goten and Trunks would have no right in there, but I mean, if Goku, who's basically a god, can just get TKO'd by a single laser blast from a regular ray gun, then anyone can pull off anything. Like, again, in Dragon Ball, like, the Tournament of Power show, like, specifically in the manga, like, you can have overwhelming power, and that can definitely get you out of a bind, definitely help out, but if there's someone that's highly trained and more skilled than you, and not necessarily on the same power level as you, they'll still mess you up, because, I mean, there was that short bit in the manga where Master Roshi was like, yo, Goku, sit back, and let me show you how it's done, and he, like, dodged, like, Jiren's hits for a good bit until he tripped, and then Jiren, like, smacked the back of his head and knocked him out the ring, I think. And, like, everyone was like, wait, did Master Roshi just use Ultra Instinct? And Whis had to be the one like, no, that was not Ultra Instinct. It was just, you know, that goddamn Master Roshi is a G, and he's well-trained, well-experienced, and he could probably still kick Goku's butt, if we're being honest. Power means nothing in terms of a very skilled opponent who can use that power against you. And in this case, technically, Moro is, because he can suck out your power and use it against you. Or absorb your power. Or copy your power. You know, seemingly Moro is a combination of all these things, really. But moving on, like, my last thoughts on this theory, I do feel like, possibly out of all the theories, I have to say, it is the second most likely, in my opinion, to happen. Just because, like, I think the Tournament of Power is still in everyone's mind. A lot of people could probably still remember a few characters. I mean, everyone remembers Brienne, but mainly because they didn't like her, but other than that, the Trio de Danger sticked out because Goku and Vegeta just one-shotted their entire team, which was funny, but I wish they stayed in the tournament longer because they were kind of my favourite characters in the tournament, so it kind of sucked just to see them go. But other than that, Universe 11 showing up, since they're just the Power Rangers of, you know, their own universe, they could definitely be contenders for showing up to help out Universe 7, to be like, oh wait, you got a main villain, you have an evil doer of sorts, then we shall assist you. Jiren just shows up, rips off his goddamn top, which means in Dragon Ball logic he gets like 10 times stronger or something. Because the more naked a Dragon Ball character gets, the stronger they become. I mean, why do you think Broly's so strong? He barely wears anything besides a loincloth.